What's up, everybody? It's Keezy. I'm back. And I just want to say thank y'all for all the messages. I read them all. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I want to say, as you guys know, I am an anime fan, obviously. Fairy Tail t-shirt, Dragon Ball, Naruto, banners in the back. And this video is about in my top 5 anime. For me personally, this is top 5. I don't know where it's not number 1. But for me personally, this is in my top 5. I am talking about Dr. Stone. It's just a really good anime. It has a good so it's like a good mixture of a little action in there. You get action, like family values, world building, character building, and just wholesomeness. It's a really good show, and is even educational. It's like you take the world of Phineas and Ferb, but you make it an anime with different characters. Because you know how Phineas and Ferb, they build shit every day. This is literally about science and then him rebuilding from the beginning. Because the first season literally shows you what happened, this giant petrification beam literally petrifies everyone for 3,700 years. And Senku, main character, wakes up from that eventually, and he's basically trying to using primitive tools to build things. It's to some people who've never seen science before. Everything that he's showing them is brand new to them, and he's basically trying to get everything back to modern times, with cell phones, computers, flat screen TVs, and all that. He's trying to get it back to that. Obviously, he can't do it in 2 years. It's somewhat still based on realism here, but with this show, especially from the first season, it gives you a good pacing with each episode. And each episode, something new happens. And they even show you the steps on how to do certain things. And you can literally look it up Mythbusters or whatever. It's legit. Everything they're showing you you can literally do yourself. But that's enough of me glazing the shows. Let's see what 414 Anime has to say about it. He said, "You're wrong about Dr. Stone."
What would you say if I told you that one of the greatest, most unique anime was sitting right under your nose and you didn't even know about it?
See? He gets it. He gets it. Good job.
That's exactly how I feel about the anime Dr. Stone. For me, it's one of the most underrated anime I have ever had the pleasure of watching. An anime that is as consistent as it is extremely powerful, yet for reasons I can't understand, it just never gets talked about as much as I think it deserves.
It never gets talked about. I never really hear about people talking about Dr. Stone. I'm trying to get my coworkers to watch Dr. Stone. Because as of right now, there's only 3 seasons in a movie. Well, I won't say a movie, but a special episode. I will say a special episode. So 3 seasons and a special episode, and every season builds on the previous one. You don't forget things. Now, obviously, I know this anime won't be for everybody. I mean, this anime in general, every anime is not for everybody. But I feel like if some people gave it a chance, they might like it. If they don't like it, then they don't like it. I mean, can't really force them to like it. But I just feel like it's a really good wholesome anime. It's just it doesn't get talked about as much, especially with all the other anime surrounding it, JJK, My Hero, Demon Slayer. I've recently been watching Kaiju number 8. There's a lot of other anime that people are talking about, so this is gonna get lost in the anime shuffle.
I have a really strong connection with this anime, and I've made a couple of videos around this topic already, but it still honestly blows my mind. Like, I understand it's not everever's cup of tea, but I think so many are missing out on a really incredible anime because there's no buzz around it.
They showed the one season when he was cheeked up, and like I don't know what it is about like this show. Why is everybody cheeked up?
And that hurts me, man. First of all, let's look at the premise and setting of Dr. Stone. It's a really unique one. So, a giant beam of green light strikes the Earth and petrifies all of mankind, turning all of humanity into stone. Several millennia pass, we follow the story of science genius Senku, who awakens from the petrification and hatches...
He's...
the grand scheme of...
He's like a science... what's it called? Prodigy. There we go. He's like a science prodigy. He just knows so much about science, like how to build certain things, because this is what he was doing since he was a kid, essentially.
Launching the revival of all civilization using science. Now, Toho Animation, Shueisha, and TMS Entertainment have beautifully animated and brought this popular shonen manga to life since it first aired in the summer season of 2019.
And the animation style is really clean as well. I just want to say that real quick. I'm pretty sure he might touch on it, but the animation is super clean.
4 years later, they are still consistently killing it with a quality that is up there with the big boy titles dropping around it. Honestly, there is such a hidden beauty to this show that blows me away each and every season. And talking of the others around it, honestly, Dr. Stone, love it or hate it, you can't deny that it has one of the most unique plots out there.
Also, if you're wondering what the black marks on their faces are, they were turned to stone, and that's where there's basically their skin was cracking underneath the stone. So if I do watch the show, or if you do watch the show, if you didn't know, those are where the black markings are. It's literally cracks.
Especially for a shonen series. It's post-apocalyptic, which, yeah, has been done before, but it's stripping the world completely back to square one, and it's being revived through science rather than through a mystic or supernatural power. Though, I guess you could...
You know how smart you gotta be? You know how smart you gotta be to know how to build a lot of this shit? You have to be a genius. It's like to know how like cell phones are built. Like not even like the ones we use, like modern cell phones. You gotta know how to use like Morse code. There's some things that you just have to know. Things that you just picked up along the way. Not that you just randomly pick up Morse code. Some people do. But it's crazy.
Argue that science is comparable to as such. Anyway, it highlights how far the world has come, but it's told to us through a really powerful method of storytelling that makes the subjects, such as science, fun and interesting to watch, as well as giving us a narrative that we can all rally behind and enjoy, even if the science stuff isn't to our interest. Like, I remember seeing the PVs for...
And look, I hated science in school. I hated it. But for some reason, I'm drawn to this show. I really like the show, but I legit hated science in school.
Stone when it came out, and there were so many huge titles coming out that year that I just wasn't as hyped about this.
More of a math guy.
As much as others. But when I sat down and watched that first episode, from the very get-go, I knew I was watching something truly special. This was a series like no other. It was a one-of-a-kind that only rolls around every so often. You know, I tend to think that you get maybe 1 or 2 of these anime a year, if you...
I remember watching JJK before JJK blew up, and it took me a minute to get into it, but once I get into it, like, I started telling so many people about this show, and then it blew up to like where it is now. Like, hold on, first one to watch this show. Hopefully, Dr. Stone is one of those animators. Like you're like one of the few people who watch it, so you know how good it is. But then it blows up, then everyone knows how good it is. You just get a sense of feeling like y'all don't know, like I know.
Lucky, and man, was Dr. Stone one of them. still is. For me, the story and plot of Dr. Stone feels like it was a way more important moment in anime than you realize. For a shonen series, Dr. Stone was an innovation in the anime industry. It's a title that is arguably as huge as many other big anime series seen above it, and unfairly so in my opinion. Dr. Stone was a huge deal when it came out, and more so than you probably realize.
And not gonna lie to y'all, I didn't know about Dr. Stone until like last year. I knew nothing about this when it first came out. So when I started watching Dr. Stone, there was already 2 seasons out. So yeah, I'm guessing that's what I'm pretty sure that's what he's talking about now. Like you don't really hear about Dr. Stone because of all the other anime that's out.
Now, I have praised the story and plot of this anime, but what really elevates these tales to new heights is unquestionably its cast of characters, and man does Dr. Stone do characters so well. Senku, the protagonist of the series, is a completely different breed for shonen. He doesn't fight using muscles or powers, however he fights with his mind.
He weak as hell, I ain't gonna hold you. Like physically, he weak as hell. But mentally, the strongest one out there. Like he gonna coach you for real. Like him actually getting on that court, I ain't gonna hold you. He got beat all the bad guys with his brain because he got to outsmart him.
With his endless knowledge of science. Often, the brainy characters are the least favorite side characters, but Senku has all the attributes you'd want from your main character. He's
a really good main character.
Someone who you can really rally behind. He's definitely OP in his own rights when it comes to his knowledge and execution of science. He remains calm and has an endless resilience to see his goals through and protect those near and dear to him. Yes, Senku is a little crazy at times, and to be fair, I think that's done in a really comedic.
Look at this. Obviously out of context, you don't know what the hell you're looking at. But actually watching the show, every time they do something like this, it's funny. You're going to get a chuckle, at least a chuckle out of it. Like, he's like a mad scientist at times. Cause like, it says when people start making that blank, like, the fuck? But yeah, you can tell. Like, he actually cares about the people he was around. He was right about that.
But then there's also a really deep level to the guy that you don't see all too often, but when you get those emotional moments involving Senku, man do they hit hard. But it's not just Senku, it's literally the entire cast we have come to love and adore in the Kingdom of Science. Especially
Suika. If Suika is the MVP, I fuck with Suika. She cool as hell. Look. If you need somebody to give you all the assists in the basketball game, Suika. She's gonna be racking up assists.
Anime's 3rd season now, each and every one of the characters feels like
Kendrick passing on his body like John Stockton.
Family to us, and we as viewers are actually a part of this story as well. That's how powerful this cast of characters are. Now, there are obviously characters that we like more than others. I myself love Kohaku, Taiju, Kazuki, but then there are characters like Ginro who are less of a favorite.
I ain't gonna hold you. I can't stand Ginro. I can't stand him. Ooh. He bitches out so much. He bitches out so much. Like, if you don't fight your battles, fight. Do something useful. Why is he on the team? Why is he here? I can't stand him. And he horny as hell. Like, relax.
Me personally, but I still feel a strong connection with his character.
I don't.
There's a moment and reoccurring story with each and every one of them that drags you in and makes you shout and scream for them to succeed, and then you can also cry and hurt with them when they go through the tough and emotional times as well. It's just done amazingly. The development of this story and its characters is done in a masterful way. It makes you forge bonds with each and every one of them, if only for a moment, with those characters who are less favorites of yours than others. This is one of the things that sets Dr. Stone apart from the rest of mainstream anime. Not saying that there aren't any other shows that do this, because there definitely are, but for a series such as Dr.
obviously there gonna be other shows that do that as well, but like I just know Dr. Stone has to a certain feel that you
The
might not
portals
get
that connect our world to
Oh,
the other dimension are called gates.
Stone and how underrated it is, this is huge. Another thing that sets it apart for me is the theme of it. It praises and highlights science, technology, and human advancement. Not only that, but it praises and highlights the power of human resilience. This is a survival story that takes us as humans back.
this is true. Yeah, it's basically a survivor story, so to speak. Um, but it does, like I was saying before, it does like showcase. It really does showcase science, and like even for people like me who were not really into science, you still might find this show interesting to watch.
To our roots, and using the power of knowledge, we survive. Human resilience and the power to strive through and push further is an amazing thing. The story of Dr. Stone highlights that this is something we can't do alone, and that we are at our strongest when we band together and survive together with the other humans we have built and forged connections with, and that no matter whatever stands before us, no matter how monumental the mountain is to climb before us, together with resilience and the strength of everyone together, we will do this.
Which is the premise like a lot of TV shows, movies. So if someone were to say like that that's repetitive, I mean that's repetitive in a lot of media as well, but yet it's still successful. It just depends on how they display it and depict it. You know?
And then some. Powerful, very shonen, and done in a very unique way in Dr. Stone. Now, though it is very story driven, that doesn't mean that there is any lack of action in the show.
Exactly.
That element still exists, and it's always done in a way that is high intensity, and there is always something huge on the line if our heroes were to fail.
Exactly. And I've said this before. They really start boxing, like at the end of season 1, like the middle of season 2, and like basically the whole way through season 3. They are boxing. Like,
and it's the way that they've incorporated that theme into the science aspects too. It's another nod to the brilliance of the show, be it building something or traveling to find dangerous minerals. These events also feel like high-risk combat situations at times, which keep the thrill factor we look for in shonen shows alive and well in Dr. Stone. And I know I'm an absolute lover and definite preacher for Dr. Stone at this point, but I'm very well aware that Dr. Stone isn't going to be a show for everyone. However, it still strikes me at how underrated this show is. The majority of people that I talk to about Dr. Stone are equal in praise for it as I am, yet New World Part 2 is currently airing, and I'm just not seeing any buzz for it, which is downright criminal, if you ask me. Downright criminal. Now,
I ain't gonna say criminal. I just say I mean it is what it is. Like I said, there's a lot of other anime out. I mean, it is what it is, unfortunately.
I've made a couple of other videos about this topic, diving into why people aren't talking about Dr. Stone. Be it the other shows airing at the time or the more air quote hype shows, the fact that marketing for it hasn't been great, and the fact that there are just
I did see The Promised Neverland in there. I still have not watched season 2. Should I watch season 2? Just let me know.
people that don't like the show, but I'm shocked that there are people who haven't heard about the show, and there's people that didn't even realize that the new seasons were airing, and they just said, oh, I didn't know because I didn't see anyone talking about it. So for that reason, this video is for those of you who haven't seen Dr. Stone, but it's also for those of you who love it as much as I do. Now, if you are one of those who haven't seen it, then I strongly urge you to give it a watch. I'm so very confident that you'll enjoy the unique story, the quirky nature, the excellent cast of characters, the very passionate and always super friendly fan base, and the very powerful emotions that lie in store for you in this very beautiful story. And maybe tweet at me about Dr. Stone too, so I can finally see it on my timeline. Now, if you want another video to...
But yeah, if you do want to see Dr. Stone, you know, I would say give it a try. If for some reason you just had it in your watch list, just give it a watch. If it's your first time hearing about Dr. Stone, there you go. But that's the end of this video. It was good to see y'all again. You know, I can't really see y'all, but y'all can see me. Y'all know, it's a thing that people say. it's good to be back. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next one.